It's no secret the United States is the most wasteful nation on earth. We dispose of 210 million tons of waste each year, according to the Mother Earth News. Recycling our unwanted garbage is more than just an economically good idea. It's better for our environment and our landfills. In today's world, anyone can recycle and do their part for the environment from home in most any city across America. Today, that's what I'll be discussing, the basics on how to recycle at home. I'll show you in 3 easy steps how to start a recycling system at home by determining local requirements, handling different materials, and what to do with non-trash items. How is recycling system started? What's the first step? According to the Dallas Morning News, the way to get started is to contact the city and request an itemized list of what items can be recycled and picked up. Not only that, but what day is the recycling pickup day? This goes for any city and state. There are different guidelines for each municipality. According to the Dallas Morning News, recyclable items for curbside pickup are placed in a blue trash can, and some citizens must request one of these from the city. In every city, there are different guidelines. According to the Mother Earth News, some items must be taken to separate facilities like aluminum cans. Hazardous materials should also be disposed of according to the local guidelines. There are specific ways to dispose of materials, like aerosol cans and light bulbs can be taken to hazardous waste disposal sites, as well as things like thermometers and certain metal items. But most all things can be recycled from home. It might be an added step in throwing something away, but the benefits far outweigh the work involved. What's the next step in recycling? Disposing of each item properly. According to the Green Guide for the Environment, items like cardboard need to be flattened out. Cans need to be rinsed out, and plastic bottles need the caps removed. Remove all lids from plastic bottle containers. They cannot be easily recycled. Most all plastic products have the triangular recycle emblem on the bottom of them, and most of the time. According to the Green Guide, also certain paper products have the recycle emblem on the bottom of them as well. It's important to always check before you throw something into the recycle bin if it has a triangular logo. It's important to pay close attention to what you're putting into the recycled containers. We have a lot of toxic material in our landfills, as it is, according to Mother Earth News. According to Amanda McMillan, anything that might contain mercury must be disposed of in a hazardous waste site. Steel jar lids can be recycled, but they must be removed from the glass containers. There are different regulations for many different cities. Some places have separate spots to take newspaper trash, and other cities have curbside pickup. So it's important to read the local regulations. There are simple basics like looking for the recycle emblem on plastic and paper containers that are universal. There is not much of anything that does not have a recyclable value. Finally, what's the last step? Disposing of unwanted items that are not trash. According to Amanda McMillan, things like clothes and computer parts, even old cell phones, can be recycled. Old clothes can be donated to charitable organizations, and old electronics can be taken to Radio Shack. Old printer cartridges and even computer parts can be taken to Office Depot. It is important to think before you throw something into the trash. Can this be reused or recycled? According to the Dominion Post, the EPA states that making old paper into new paper uses 30 to 55% less energy, and it reduces pollution by 95%. At least 30% of glass containers in grocery stores can now be recycled. The EPA also says that shower doors and shower curtains can be recycled too. The EPA also states that for every ton of paper recycled, we save 17 trees. Recycling saves our natural resources, energy, and the environment. It's important for us all to do our part, and it's a responsibility that we have to our communities and our environments, and for future generations. In other words, each of us is doing our part by recycling and being a good citizen and member of the community. The best part of recycling is knowing that you're doing something to make a difference in the environment, the world we live in, and for future generations. So, recycle, reuse, and rejoice. In conclusion, today I've told you about how to start a recycling system at home by finding out the local requirements, how to dispose of particular items, and what to do with unwanted non-trash items. I'm going to close with something gathered from the Mother Earth News. The idea of recycling began in World War II, when people saved their toothpaste containers thinking it would keep the water and air clean. The message from the war was simple: save now and have a better world to live in later. Now, 60 years later, the message is still the same: save now for a better future tomorrow and for future generations to come.